The year is 2025. A golden golf cart glides across an African summit, Donald Trump at the wheel, waving at diplomats. After years of ignoring Africa, Trump is suddenly its biggest fan. It's a whiplash U-turn from dismissive comments to red carpets and grand promises. Headlines explode. Trump talks partnership, investment, and untapped potential. He's pitching himself as Africa's new best friend, eager to make deals and build Trump towers. But is this a genuine change of heart, or just another reality show episode? The world watches, skeptical. Is this about Africa or about Trump's image? The timing isn't random. China's been investing billions. Europe's strengthening ties. Trump doesn't want to miss out. It's geopolitical FOMO. He's late to the party but wants everyone to think he planned it. One day, Africa's a footnote in US policy. The next, it's the star of the show. Trump hosts events, shakes hands, and smiles for the cameras. But behind the performance, what's really changed? Is this about building real relationships or just making America and Trump look good? Africa's always been here, growing and developing. Now, Trump wants in, but the continent and the world are watching closely. Is this a new era or just a new act? The showmanship is impressive, but the motives remain unclear. For Africa, the question is simple: what's behind the curtain this time? To understand this turnaround, let's rewind to Trump's first term. His Africa policy? Silence. Diplomatic posts sat empty, high-level visits were rare, the continent, home to over 1 billion people, was ignored. While China and Europe deepened ties, the US was absent, missing out on trade, influence, and opportunity. African leaders felt dismissed, left to engage with a superpower that wouldn't pick up the phone. The few headlines were negative. Remember the "shithole countries" comment? That wasn't just a gaffe, it revealed a lack of respect and understanding. Policy followed suit. No vision, no partnership, just neglect. China seized the moment, building infrastructure and offering loans. Europe doubled down on old alliances. The US watched its influence fade, sidelined by its own indifference. The ghosting wasn't just rude, it was a strategic blunder. Now America is scrambling to catch up. The question, is it too late to matter? Fast forward to today. Diplomacy has moved to the golf course. Trump prefers photo ops on manicured greens to policy meetings. A handshake with an African president at a luxury resort looks good. But what's really being accomplished? It's classic Trump personal branding over policy, spectacle over substance. Why negotiate trade deals when you can declare friendship after a round of golf? These summits are more show than strategy. African leaders know the difference between a photo op and real partnership. They want investment, fair trade, and support for their own goals, not just a game of golf. While Trump perfects his swing, China builds bridges and power plants. The contrast is stark style versus substance. The skepticism is real. Africa wants more than a show. The world is waiting for the main act, not just the opening number. Will Trump deliver, or is this just another performance? The biggest policy shift? Energy. Trump's team now champions Africa's right to use fossil fuels, rejecting past US pressure to go green. It's a sharp reversal, one that wins applause from African leaders tired of Western hypocrisy. Trump positions himself as Africa's champion, but is it genuine or just convenient for his pro-fossil fuel agenda? The move pleases his base and resource-rich African nations alike. The outcome may benefit Africa, but the motives are murky. Is this real partnership or just politics as usual? Here's the reality. Africa isn't waiting for a Western savior. While the US ghosted and Europe lectured, African nations built their own solutions. They're forging partnerships, creating an African-led energy bank, and funding their own development. The old narrative of helplessness is gone. African leaders are setting their own agendas. They have more options than ever. China, the Middle East, even their own institutions. This new assertiveness changes everything. When Trump arrives with golf and gas promises, he faces confident, strategic actors. They'll listen, but they'll weigh his offers against others. Africa is negotiating from strength, not desperation. Trump's U-turn is a reaction to a continent already on the move. The days of waiting for the West are over. Africa is playing its own game. The world is finally catching up. So, is Trump's Africa pivot a new era, or just a new show? The energy policy shift could help African nations industrialize, but skepticism lingers. Trump's approach is heavy on optics, light on substance. Is this about countering China, or real partnership? The test is what comes next. Real investment, fair deals, and consistent engagement, or another fleeting headline. African leaders are cautious, not waiting for a hero. The U-turn shakes up the status quo, but spectacle alone won't build trust. For a true partnership, Africa needs respect and consistency, not just a charismatic host. For now, Africa keeps moving forward, ready for real partners, not just another show.